You spend months waiting for that medical appointment. And then as you're leaving said medical appointment, you think of so many things that you meant to bring up with the provider that you totally forgot to bring up in the moment. It's not just you. I've been a nurse for over 30 years, and it's happened to most of my patients and me as a patient, as a caregiver. If I don't prepare ahead of time, I don't get the most out of those appointments. So I put together this little tool that we can use to optimize that time that we do have with our providers. Hi, I'm Deb with Third Act by Design. Let's take a look at what I've designed and see if it'll help you. A good medical appointment is kind of like a good job interview. It's only going to be successful if you prepare ahead of time. It is so critical to think about what you want to discuss during that medical appointment. Try to condense it into 3 or 4 main concerns or topics that you want to talk about and write it down. You may have others, certainly list those out as well, but at least concentrate on those 3 or 4 big things you want to make sure you discuss with your provider. Think about details around those concerns. I think that's where we get tripped up often. The provider will ask how long it's been happening, and it seems like it's been happening a couple of weeks, but has it really? Get specific. Has it been a month? Is it just in the mornings? Is it in the evenings? Is it after you eaten certain things? Any details that you can capture will help the provider decide next steps for you. Put the time in ahead of time to have a more successful appointment. I think your provider will appreciate it as well to keep the conversation on track. The next part is whether or not I brought my current medication list. And to help you with that, I put together a handy dandy medication list. All of these things, well, there'll be a link. You can download the PDF if you want to. Keep a list of your current medications. It's hard to remember the dosages. It's hard to remember all of the over the counter medications you might take. If it's hay fever season, you might remember you take Flonase, but if not, you might forget that kind of stuff. So put it down. List your allergies, list any medications that you've stopped, whether you were told to stop it or not. Be upfront about it so that they know what's going on. And then at the bottom of the list, if you have concerns about your medications, if a medication is too expensive for you or is burdensome for you, let the provider know. They don't always get it that your insurance doesn't cover this med at a very affordable rate and it's costing you $500 a month and that's a burden for you. Let them know there might be a cost effective alternative or some kind of copay assistance program. So never be ashamed of addressing issues with your medications with your provider. If you're not comfortable with discussing things like that, you might need to look for a new provider. Okay, back to planning for our visit. Bring your medication list, bring any vital signs that you've been tracking, whether it's your blood sugar, your blood pressures, weights, or whatever it is that you're tracking. Make sure you bring it with you. You may do it digitally, upload it to the portal, or maybe you bring a paper log. Don't leave that at home on your counter. Make sure you've checked the box and have it in hand with you. Then, so you're prepared. You walk in, you know what you're talking about. Your conversation is guided, which is awesome. During the visit, though, write things down if you need to, or clarify as you go through. The providers go through a lot of stuff often quickly. If you get test results, if you get changes in your medications, take a moment to clarify, verbalize that you're understanding what they're saying, and jot it down. A good provider will appreciate that. They don't want you confused about what's going forward. So make sure you get that down. Any recommendations that they have for you, maybe to start walking more or whatever that might be, also write those kind of things down. Then before you leave the office, and this might be after you've seen the doctor when you're checking out or whatever, make sure you understand next steps. Is somebody going to call me, especially if you have a referral for a test or lab work or whatever? Do I wait for somebody to call me or do I need to call somebody else? Make sure that you clarify that specifically, especially if someone's supposed to call you. How long should you wait for that phone call? If it's 2 weeks, it's too long. So make sure to clarify what those next steps are. You'll have such a better result and less frustration. We can't change how long provider visits are these days, 10 or 15 minutes. We're not going to change that, but we can optimize how that time is spent. And by the way, you don't have to use my form. You won't hurt my feelings. It's there if you want to download it and use it. but use something, whether you take notes on your phone or take a notebook and a piece of paper. Do something. Prepare for those visits so that you get the most out of them. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe and hit the little bell to be notified of next videos. Thanks for spending a few moments with me, and I will see you on the next video.